G'day from Sydney, Australia. This is your values coach, Karen Clark, welcoming you to the video Values, Meaning and Beliefs. This video describes one of the activities from Module 3 of the online program, My Hidden Value, how to identify what really motivates you. This video, Values, Meaning and Beliefs, is to be viewed and the instructions carried out after Module 2, in which you've engaged in the Values Power exercise. In the Value Power exercise, you discovered a core value, one that's crucial to motivating you to win at work. Now the question is, now that you have discovered that core value, what does it mean? What will you do with it? How will that value help you to win at work? To begin to answer that, we need to explore where your values come from. So if you think of at the inner core of your consciousness, of your awareness, of your being, there is your worldview. From your worldview stem your beliefs, from your beliefs come your values, and from your values rise your behavior. Let's look at each of those in turn, starting with your worldview. The foundation of your beliefs, values and behavior is your worldview, and your worldview can be described simply as the way you unconsciously, or in some cases consciously, believe the world works. From your worldview come your beliefs, and we can define your beliefs simply as what you think or believe to be true. Your beliefs in turn are the source of your values, and many of your values have probably not changed since you were about 10 years old. Just to recap on a very quick definition of values, we can say that your values are your preferences. We can define your values as your inner motivators, your internal motivators, or even more simply as your lifestyle priorities and preferences. The formation of your values was influenced by a whole range of cultural factors, including your family's beliefs, any spiritual instruction or beliefs that your family held, the schools you attended, the sports clubs you belonged to, churches, recreational activities, the media, the geographic location in which you live, and of course many other factors. But moving on to your behavior, what you value determines the choices you make and the actions you take. In other words, your behavior. So the question is, what drives your actions? Is it habit or is it choice? Are you moving through your life doing what you've always done out of habit, or are you consciously aware of what's really important to you and making choices, setting goals and visions that are aligned with your highest priority values? And that of course brings us to the whole purpose of identifying and prioritizing your values, namely so that you understand what really motivates you, and you can set a vision, whether it be a short-term or a long-term vision or both, and the steps to achieving that vision that are fully aligned with your priority values. So, a quick recap on where your values come from. At the deepest level, your worldview, then your beliefs, then come your values, and of course your values guide your behavior, either consciously or unconsciously. So that brings us to the question, what do your values actually mean? Here's the short answer. When you value something, whether it's an object, a person, or a state of being, you want more of it in your life. And by the way, you also subconsciously assume that other people want more of that same value too. And that's where things can get tricky, because different people do value different things, hence the sort of great conflict. So That's just another advantage of being fully aware of what your values are and what your value priorities are, and what are the values of perhaps your family members, people with whom you're in relationships, whether it be in your personal life or your work life. So, when you value something, the more of that value you get, in other words, the more you can actually live that value day in, day out in your life, the more satisfied you will feel. And when you feel more satisfied and fulfilled, particularly at work, you experience your work, your life, your work life as more meaningful. So the bottom line here is that living your values at home and at work actually unfolds more meaning for you in your life, which leads to a greater sense of purpose in your life. And here's the really great thing: a greater sense of meaning or a greater sense of purpose generates more energy, more physical energy, more mental energy, more emotional energy, more spiritual energy. In other words, a greater sense of motivation, because motivation is a form of energy. Motivation energizes you to move forward in the literal sense of the word. So, what motivates you to win at work? And the answer is that core value that you discovered in your value power exercise. But what do your core values actually mean to you? And what does that core value actually mean for you in your day-to-day work life? Here's an example. One person places a high value on education, knowledge, and insight. The belief behind that value is that focused learning and its thoughtful application will lead to insight and wisdom. And what that means in practical terms in that person's life is she wants to have wisdom, she wants to be wise, so she will engage in lifelong learning, both in terms of personal development and growth and in professional development and growth. So the application for that person is when she applies her natural talents, in other words her talent code, to her core values, in other words her motivation code, she has a surefire strategy for winning at work. So let's get really specific now and look at how you will apply this to your core value that you identified in the value power exercise. Step 1. Refer to your core value that you identified and wrote on page 3 of your Hidden Value Learning Journal. Step 2. Write that value in the value box on page 6. Next, think about what that value means to you in terms of what you believe and write that belief in the belief box on page 6. Your next step is, in the meaning box, write what that belief means for you in practical terms in your quest to win at work. What activities will you need to engage in? What goals will you need to set? What will be the will need to be the primary focus of your activities to fully engage that value in your work life? So there you have a simple and informal way of planning how to. The next few slides show some very detailed resources that I use myself and recommend to my clients for a more in-depth, more detailed and much more personalized analysis of both your talents and your values. I highly recommend that you investigate those, and I look forward to hearing of the benefits that you've received both from this course and from the resources that you use in the future.